Well, I'm not sure if I have a religion, but I'm sure the secular would see me as very religious. Now, I do refer to scripture, but not exclusively of, say, the Jesus story or the Bhagavad Gita. I even resort to a few common sayings. English ones, but yeah. So I might get some inspiration from scripture and religious people like Paramahansa Yogananda. That would be it, really. There's no organisation, of course. Really am anti-organisations. I feel they're very worldly things. They're very good for improving the technical ability and standard of living of, well, at least a considerable number of people. At some cost to the others and at unknown cost to the future. But yes, there's no organisation, no hierarchy, no membership, no building, real estate, well, no possessions, bank account. I don't mean I don't have fairly normal possessions. I drive a car and live in a flat and so on. It tries to avoid being authoritarian, although simply academic ability can be a bit dominant, and put it mildly. Not that I feel my spirituality relies on intelligence. On the contrary, at heart I feel it has to be a spirituality open to all, as far as possible, all life. You know, we can show kindness to creatures. We can help, be a blessing, possibly not much more, but we can be a lot more to people. We can be encouragement, support, more obvious rescue because we have better communication, simply that. It very much turns on what works. To these values, these beliefs, bring a much happier life. If they do, that's the way to go. If they don't, especially even in the long run, especially in the long run, I suppose, then we should be rethinking. It's not a religion that relies on community. But of course it always benefits one much if you can be with like-minded people, with a smattering of people not too like-minded, so that you do keep awake, and alive. I suppose I am advocating a practice still. I'm assuming that you would practice whatsoever's good and lovely, thinking on these things. And I do take to heart the Jesus story view that I wish to trust that God exists, and ideally probably that He's a divine parent or dearest friend, Heavenly Dad, if you like, and loves us. Well, if you add to that, He's all powerful or extremely powerful or powerful enough, would be sufficient, wouldn't it? I'm not sure there's much more I'm feeling is fairly indispensable. Thank you, Dad. It was voiced yesterday at a discussion meeting about Hebrew roots and influence of Persia and so on its development into Judaism and even Judaism into Christianity. The voice that, well, are we all under an illusion? Is all religion illusion? And of course I couldn't resist coming back with, well, it's what works. If I find something that works, don't matter how much you intellectually argue against it, it works for me. That's the way I'm going. And if I find something doesn't work, no matter how much you argue its case, I still know in my heart it doesn't work for me. That's not my path. So I think I've skirted round again, arched over the dilemma of, well, are we all under an illusion? It's not whether we are or aren't that matters. What matters is what works. If I find trusting God to be loving and all-powerful results in an assured, happy disposition of hope and joy and peace, well, that's the way I'm going to go, isn't it? You may call it a reality or an illusion, truth or whatever story. It's beneficial, so I'm doing it. It's a pragmatism. It's an incredibly pragmatic, that's a good word. Let's stick with, I was wandering into the prismatic prism, deflection, seeing through, splitting of the light into its colours. I see your face in every sunrise, the colours of the morning are in your eyes. You see, we do what's meaningful, and it's what's meaningful gives us purpose and hope. And hope is the very father of life. You see, he sees someone beautiful and he hopes for something wonderful. And he now pursues. And it becomes everything to him. This is what falling in love is when you're a fella. Not certain what it is when you're a lady. But if you're a female, you probably know much, much better than I do. Well, if religion was written by men, male dominance of monks perhaps, although there were priestesses in early religion, got a feeling it was dominated by priestesses in some cultures, many. To my point, we do what works because we seek life. If these thoughts
spawn life. Well, that's what we believe in, and for a very good reason. It's most important to our prosperity. It becomes validity from our point of view, and is its the validity of being. You see, we are born of hope, and we in our childishness don't know where it comes from, but I suspect, and I keep preaching if you like, that it comes from dwelling on whatsoever is good and lovely. We are filled with hope and purpose and assurance and joy and peace and even love and kindness and wisdom. Every spiritual quality follows from a developed obsession, I would like to say, if it was a more emotively attractive word, with hope, with that which is good and lovely. And it brings hope, which gives birth to life, fullness of life. Even in the Christian story, life eternal, we are transcendent to a supreme spiritual state of eternal glory and goodness, honor, justice, righteousness, beauty, loveliness, harmony, glory, glory, change from glory into glory. As we cast our crowns before Thee, lost in wonder, love, and grace of our Heavenly Dad, you see. Yeah, carried away, Marshall, hadn't you? Yes. Transported, translated, transcendent. Thank you.